Hello, church. It's Pastor Mike. I hope it's a good day for you today. Our devotion today continues in Acts chapter 9 and picks up right where we left off yesterday with Saul's conversion and Aeneas being willing to go to him and restore him. And after Saul is restored, saved, converted, baptized in Damascus, he immediately begins to preach. He becomes as forceful a preacher for Jesus as he had been an opponent of the church. He is passionate, he is emboldened, he is given the gift by God to speak and to teach and to show that Jesus is the Messiah. And as we might imagine, it confuses everyone around him. The Jewish people that used to be cheering him on as he was persecuting the church now don't know what to make of him having this change of heart. The Christians, who you'd think might be celebrating having Saul on their side, are still unsure because they don't know if it's some tactic for him to get into their churches to be able to round them up and arrest them. In short, he is somebody who is haunted by his past and unable to find his new home yet. Not quite welcomed in either space. And I bet a lot of us have felt like that at times in our lives, whether we were newly converted Christians and we felt like our old reputations were still dogging us everywhere we went, or maybe we're just current Christians who have made mistakes and feel like because of the mistakes we've made or the past we've had, um, we find ourselves maybe on the outskirts or at arm's length away from some people that we wish would uh, encourage us or hold us close. And I think we can take something from Saul's example, soon to be Paul, and that is to keep doing God's work. Saul tries to convince the church that he is a changed man, that he has been converted, a new man, reborn in Christ and dedicated to his gospel. But even as they are unsure, he doesn't say, well, then I'm going to go do my own thing if you guys don't like me. He continues to go out and preach the gospel of Jesus Christ. And he does it so fervently and with such passion that even when people are trying to kill him for preaching this message, he keeps preaching it all the same. And other people see, wow, Saul means what he's saying. He's putting his life on the line. He cares about this message. And so they begin to vouch for him to the Christian leaders and to the apostles and other disciples. They say, I know I've heard all the same stories about Saul you have, but let me tell you about who he is now. He is a different man, a changed man, and he is a man committed to Jesus Christ and his gospel. And so they start taking care of him, at least protecting him from being killed. And eventually, even when they don't quite know what to do with him, in Acts chapter 9, when they find out that he is once again being plotted against for people to take his life, they take him down to Caesarea and they send him back to Tarsus, where he was from, that he can lay low there for a little bit while they figure out what to do. We are going to see throughout the rest of the book of Acts that Saul is not a one off character. He is one of the cornerstones of the early church. He is the author of a preponderance of our New Testament letters in our Bibles. And it was because of his unwillingness to swerve from the path that God had set him on. No matter what the people from his past thought or the people in his future thought, he said, I know what I am going to do today, and it is going to be to share the good news of Jesus Christ. May you and I be that singularly minded about God's call in our life, that we would set all other things aside and what anybody else might be saying and say, today I'm going to focus on God's call for me. And when we do that, who knows what God might do through us? What lives might change because we were willing to be obedient. So follow God's path today, and may He bless you richly as you walk hand in hand with Him.